a few days after your inauguration into the Starfinder Society, you've been relaxing at your hotel, taking in the sights, a little bit of tourism, and you are eventually um, you come home one day and find an invitation printed on paper that is as black as the void of space, requesting your company for a meeting with His Excellency Givalarsk Nor, the ambassador of Aox. And you guys had already made your culture checks last time we played. Aox being a planet inhabited almost entirely by undead creatures. Its dominant species are the human-like Elebrians, who were forced to transform themselves into undead to survive an ancient cataclysm that almost destroyed their world. And although many sentient species find them disturbing, they are not considered monsters, at least not in polite society, and they are full signatory Pact members, equal citizens of the Pact Worlds. Um, I remember one of you had made your, I don't remember who it was, had made your culture check and recognize that Gvar Skanor is the head of the diplomatic delegation from Aox to the Pact Council here on Absalom Station. There's an image here that we can share with everybody of what he looks like. Kind of a creepy looking dude.
Also, they're
I think
kind
it
of
looks awesome.
rotting even. They're not just like Ravenloft undead.
No.
They're like rotting.
Yeah, and they have on their planet, I remember because if you read in the Pact Worlds book, there was a section which I kind of skimmed through in that recent episode I did. They still have there are still the original species. There are some of them that still exist today that did not convert into undead, and they live in these underground chambers, and they're kind of like treated as like um, they're not slaves, but they're not treated as like citizens of the planet, and it's kind of like there's prejudice against them. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of freaky. Um,
Yes, that they go all in the Finder games for sure, because that's right up there with like World of Warcraft and
mm,
I mean that's rotting. Yeah, I bet perfume is huge at the
it's a good
duty
market.
free whenever they come into the port that they fly into.
Kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson.
I
uh,
can see him breaking into a really cool Thriller dance.
You have been invited to the Oxian Embassy in the Parkside neighborhood, which is just around the corner from where your hotel is located. Normally, the embassy is restricted to Oxian citizens and foreigners with official business, but given the fact that you have an invitation, um, you should be able to get in um, easily enough. Do you guys want to go straight there, or is there anything else any business that you need to take care of beforehand?
We can go straight there.
I think we can go straight there. If I would have taken care of like refilling the ammo.
Yeah, let's just assume that. I mean, I think
Just
the
did
last time we
all.
had played, we had sort of restocked up on a bunch of stuff, or at least I know Mujin spent all of his money on Maverick.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think,
just check off my
I think he's
used
broke again.
ammunition and go straight there.
Um, all right, so you
Oh
guys
yeah,
are.
that's a cool set
So
of
paint me
armor
a
there
picture.
too.
The scene of this embassy, is it this gothic thing or what's
Yeah,
the
so this
architecture?
is as you arrive, the embassy has been decorated in a style reminiscent of traditional Eoxian architecture, which is black marble and bone pale limestone with vaulted ceilings, sepulchral furnishings, and disconcertingly organic architectural details. The way I understand it is think about the way the Geiger art was for the original
Yeah,
Alien film, kind of like maybe that kind of style
yeah, you
blended.
got organics built into the architect, or that kind of look anyway. It's going to be very Geiger, right?
Yeah.
Oops.
And when you arrive, there's a pair of undead skeletal attendants that greet you at the door. Greetings.
Show the invitation. Whoever one of
Ah,
us has it.
welcome. This way, please. And they lead you down to a spare but well appointed office that feels something like the inside of an ancient mausoleum. Inside the office is the ambassador, Gavilarsk Nor, whose picture we see over there to the left. His elongated cranium marks him as an Alibrian, one of the natives of Eox, and he is obviously very clearly an undead. His skeletal countenance displays no scrap of flesh, and an eerie light burns in his otherwise empty eye sockets. He's a necrovite. Anybody have a culture check here? Go ahead and roll culture checks for everybody.
I'm afraid culture is one of my things, I think. So let's see.
I guess
Maybe
really
you
high
should start it.
culture.
Maybe I should start investing in that. Oh, I thought I was gonna have a good roll once, but nope.
All right. Well, Lysander at the very
Wait a
least.
minute, that's not a roll.
I rolled a 9 and rolled a 17, so.
All right, that's fair enough. 18 and 17. At least a couple of you recognize that he's a necrovite, and these are spellcasters who used powerful magic to achieve immortality in the form of eternal undeath. They store their consciousness and soul in a techno-magical relic. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Electroencephalon is what that is called. One thing I don't know is where do they keep their electroencephalons? Is this something they keep on their bodies? Again, I'm new to Starfinder like everybody else. I wonder where they keep those. Because that would be interesting if that's like,
It's your
you know,
back pocket. It's like a phone.
right.
You know?
Because like if it stores your soul, I feel like that's kind of a big deal. Like, your essence is inside of this thing.
Have you met people? I'm pretty sure these things store souls. So just saying. So we can hand wave it, right? Since nobody knows the answer.
Sure. Um, all right, he greets you as you enter and offers you some seats in his office. And as you guys sit down, he's going to address you. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me. I'm certain you're aware of the recent interest in the prospecting ship Aceron and the asteroid being referred to as the Drift Rock. I believe you're also acquainted with the dispute between Astral Extractions and the Hardscrabble Collective over both the ship and the asteroid. Both parties are currently awaiting legal arbitration, but the wheels of justice often turn quite slowly. As a result, I have offered my services as a mediator in hopes of finding a solution that is equitable to both factions. The first step in this, of course, is learning the specifics of the opposing claims. Reports of your recent endeavors in dealing with some of Absalom Station's most notorious gangs have led me to believe that you might be useful in this undertaking. You're new to the station, you seem to possess a wide range of skills and abilities, and you certainly appear capable. In short, you're perfectly positioned as a neutral third party that could cut through all of the red tape surrounding the issue and get to the heart of the matter. I would like you to go to the Aceron to find out precisely what happened to its crew and ascertain the value of its asteroid cargo, as well as determine whether this drift rock is truly as mysterious as the media claims. And I need a drink after that spout.
Boy, right? No, that was brilliant. Well, you know the media. I mean, they blow things out of proportion all the time. But speaking for myself, I'd be very interested in seeing this Acreon up close, especially after the events of the last week or two.
Indeed.
How will we begin?
Okay, here. I'm reading through here just a couple of things here real quick.
Would it be wrong to say let's just blow it up and let God sort it out?
Haha.
I think of the prophet. I mean, they're hauling back like this drift rock. It's
Yeah.
who knows what it's made of. Plus, it's rumored to have that deity maker.
That's somewhere at the heart of the station, yeah.
Yeah.
We have received permission from station security to send an exploratory team to the Aceron. We have arranged for you to use one of the station's shuttles for transport as soon as you are ready. Do you have any further questions?
either one of you gentlemen want to discuss the finer points of our fees and whatnot? Or,
Oh, speaking of fees, I'm glad
I
you
tend
brought
to
this
hand
up.
wave that kind of stuff myself, but my motivations are a little more intrinsic.
I am offering, of course, for your time, 600 credits for each of you in exchange for your services. In
I was
addition,
hoping he would.
what's that?
I was hoping he would offer us some free undead prosthetics.
Some extra goodies.
Living Dead Girls.
Hey, man, that's a good song, by the way.
That is a great song.
In
Fit these guys
addition,
perfectly.
there's one additional detail I'd like to offer you help with. I can offer you an additional payment of 500 credits. Among its cargo, the Aceron was carrying a package destined for the embassy. Of course, with the ship being quarantined, the package has been undeliverable. I have been eagerly awaiting its arrival, and I would consider it a personal favor if you could find the package and bring it to me when you return to the station. It's clearly marked, so I don't imagine it would be too difficult to find.
Hmm.
Are you rolling to see if you
Sense
can?
motive.
Oh no, it's a blank slate, man.
Yeah?
You've got nothing.
That's cool. These guys kind of creep me out.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I
There's
I'm
sh-
just
nothing there.
wondering if removing
That,
any
that answers my
I'm just
question.
gonna
Is that
shiver a little, just
is
very
why
subtly.
why he volunteered to be the mediator?
little
Probably.
ulterior motives going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can assure
seems
you
like,
that there's no contraband involved and there are no illegalities as well. It's simply
Oh.
some personal property.
Of course.
it's a quarantine ship. Removing any such items, I would think, would be a little frowned upon, as you.
Well, he is an official
As I
diplomat, so
would-
he's probably got.
Ambassador, do
Yeah.
the Aoxians have any official presence on the Acrian? Or did they up until this incident?
No. We have no ties to either the Astral Extractions or the Hardscrabble Collective or the Acreon itself. This is one of the reasons we are in the perfect position to offer our help as arbitrators. We believe in the power of diplomacy, and we are hoping to avoid any further violence over the issue here on the station.
Understood.
In
I
it,
appreciate your candor.
you're welcome. In addition to the shuttle, I am also providing you with a small observer robot that will accompany you and record your expedition. This is to provide an objective record that we can provide to both sides and the lawyers as a foundation for the mediation efforts. You don't need to worry about the bot. It will simply follow you and observe as you go on about your business investigating the Acreon and see if you can find any traces of the ship's crew. I would suggest that you start with the ship first, before you begin exploring the drift rock.
That's probably good advice, especially since there was a crew and we need to ascertain what happened to that crew as part of our mission.
If there are no further questions, I will have a ship available for you tomorrow morning.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay. So at this point, from a background perspective, I'm looking through some stuff which I think I can give you guys freely as some information because you'll be able to do some investigation on your own as you spend the rest of the day going back to the hotel and stuff. The ambassador has informed both of the factions of his intent to send independent investigators to the Acheron and Driftrock, and the parties have agreed to the plan of action. Neither trusts the other side to avoid interfering in the process. So,
Truly, but he seems to know about the violence we were involved in.
well, that's become public knowledge by this point on the attack on the loading dock when you guys got here, because that became That went out on
Oh,
the news
but not
networks.
anything on the nightclub.
No. But just
nothing has been said out in the opening because you seem to be implying that we were capable and he wanted to handle things without violence from now on, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They at least know
I was
about
just
that.
curious because it seemed that's what I was picking up when you were throwing it down. Maybe that was just my misreading the situation there.
As you head back to the hotel, once you arrive, you find an invitation from Astral Extractions asking you to attend a private meeting at their corporate headquarters in Blue Rise Tower.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
anybody want to guess that we'll get an invitation after that from the other group?
Oh no, I imagine it'll be a different form of contact for them, something really last minute. If I had to guess, but I could be wrong. Astral Extractions, what relationship, fellas, did they have with the gang that we basically completely wiped out at the Fusion nightclub? Or the Fusion Queen? Wasn't Astral Extractions No, it was the Hardscrabble Collective that was employing the street gang up there.
No, Astral Extractions was the company behind 21. The ones who had the Fusion Queen, like the bad guys. The Hardscrabble Collective were the ones who had employed the Yoshoki guy with the rat guy who offered you whiskey and stuff.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Those were that was who the Hardscrabble Collective had hired.
Correctly.
Yeah.
Because I really like those guys. I don't dislike the other ones. Fascinating. But in literature, this is what we call the other shoe dropping. So these guys okayed us to go on this mission on the behest of the ambassador. He chose us because of our reputation. And these guys approved it. But these guys are also ultimately who was paying the bills for that gang we took out the other day. So I'm not suggesting this is going to be something as crass as just a trap, but it should be interesting. We should probably be prepared for anything.
Maybe it's a bribe too.
Yeah, but this is the first invitation. As soon as you get back from your meeting with the EX representative, I mean, it's early afternoon at this point. You come back, you've got this invitation to go to Blue Rise Tower. Do you want to take them up on that invitation, or are you gonna just ignore it?
Was this invitation sent like to
It's like a
our association, or is it a personal invitation?
Now, when you arrived at your hotel, the clerk was waiting to let you know that this invitation had been sent on behalf of someone named Miss Joss.
All right, Miss Joss, Astral Extractions. God, guys, I gotta tell you, I really think we ought to make this. We ought to make this date. I think it sounds. It could go poorly for them, but I think we need to find out what they're going to say to us. I don't know that avoiding them before the launch tomorrow is. What do you think? What are your
I think we should be cautious, as of course, but we should probably go. Don't want to upset
the stationery
them.
that this one came on.
This was more of a when you arrived at the hotel, you were given the information by the hotel clerk. He was like, "Hey, this came for you while you're gone.
Gotcha.
They were looking for you."
Well, I think we should definitely be cautious if they don't use stationery to that quality. They're definitely potentially dangerous to our cause here, but I still think we should go.
Did you want to hold it up to the light, see if there's any hidden messages?
Oh no, that was there's no there's
no stationery.
Yeah, there's no stationery. It was just that was the hotel staff.
I'm going to make a big deal out of the stationery just because I'm trying to find my character here. Starting to ease into this kind of Constantine kind of vibe, space elf Constantine. So I think I'm going to get some business cards made up, by the way, for our little gang. and it's going to be on that same station area as the Aoxian guy. Sent it over because that was
pitch
cool. It's
black.
the little black hole, like something like gold letters. Come on up to our place for a spell. You know,
Well,
I don't know. I'm a mystic.
Did
Say.
we come up with a name?
not yet.
2 bugs in a rug, wasn't it?
All right. Well, if you guys are
That
accepting,
wasn't quite it.
I think that's still pending. I don't know for sure.
well, if you guys are going to accept, their corporate headquarters are in Blue Rise Tower. When you guys get out there,
Yeah, I'm going to
it's
send off before we get there. I'm going to
sure.
send off a quick message to our contacts back over, with the Starfinders, just to let them know our last destination,
Just in case.
Yeah, they might want to know. I'm not asking for revenge. I'm just saying, they're information collectors. They'll probably want to know what happened.
Well, when you arrive at Blue Rise Tower, you are greeted by one Miss Joss, who is a Lashunta corporate professional, who works for Astral Projections. And she is all about the slick business suit. And as you arrive, it is firm handshakes for all of you. Greetings, welcome. So glad you could make it. How are you finding your time here on the station, my friends?
It's been eventful. It's been eventful ever
Well,
since we got off the boat, but otherwise quite enjoyable.
Well, it is a great place to live. And if you're not familiar with Astral Extractions, we are the premier company who works towards discovering, developing, and managing the much needed natural resources from across the galaxy and selling them in the Pact Worlds. It's one of the reasons that we're so interested in the Aceron and the Drift Rock. We would love you to keep open minds when you're investigating the ship and the asteroid. We simply want what the contract originally gave us the rights to. If you aren't already familiar with our contract with the Hardscrabble Collective, means that the Aceron is hired to prospect for unclaimed, unexploited mineral resources on behalf of our company, who holds all the rights and claims to those discoveries. And we want to make sure that the contract is followed to the letter of the law. So we really want to make sure that you're going to be able to get to the bottom of this as quickly and as easily as possible, because the rights to that asteroid do belong to our company, we believe. We certainly believe that this is a plausible interpretation of the contract's terms, but it's in our mind also evident that the contract assumes that the Aceron's crew could simply identify sites for future development by the company. But I'm not sure if you have any further questions for me, but I just wanted to invite you here and hope that you can keep open minds while you're investigating the ship and the asteroid. We, of course, will accept the results of Ambassador Nora's mediation, but our company is always interested in hiring competent freelancers for a variety of tasks in the future. Um, if you ever find yourself in need.
Miss Joss, if there's just one thing that I could ask before we go, I know you're busy, but we haven't seen the contract. Could you sum up briefly what you stand to gain or lose based on our investigation? It was my understanding that we were going to determine the composition of the rock, certainly, but primarily to ascertain what happened to the crew. We don't have any idea at all what your business contract has in it, so I don't see any reason why we would not be able to provide accurate and truthful analysis of what we find.
And that's exactly what we're hoping for you to find. That you will hopefully find the crew and exactly what they discovered so that we can abide by the terms of the contract and the discoveries that our company purchased the rights to.
Okay. Right.
I understand you have a shuttle going out to the ship tomorrow, yes? Courtesy of the Oxian ambassador.
Indeed.
Well,
You are well informed.
I wish you the best of luck tomorrow morning, and I can't wait to hear more from the ambassador himself.
It was nice to meet you. Vibrate my little
Likewise.
antennas a little bit. I on purpose did not scan her or attempt to ascertain her motive. I'm headcanoning that amongst my circle anyway of La Junta, it's considered really, really rude to do that to each other.
It's a good way to think about it. All right. As you guys head out and go back to your hotel, when you arrive, there is a red-skinned human from, well, let's just say he's a red-skinned human waiting in the um, reception area of the hotel when you get by. And as you enter, he quickly stands up and
Maverick.
says, "You three, you're the Starfinders, yeah?"
Sure.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
haven't
we
really
are.
chosen a name for ourselves, but I
Well, I mean,
suppose
you
that
work for the
also is
Starfinder
true.
Society. You're the ones that have been you're the ones working with the ambassador, right?
And you
Yes.
Oh,
are.
oh, me. I'm Otal Sarisi. I'm a ship captain out in the Armada. I have the ship, the Dust Runner. I work for the Hardscrabble Collective. I'm sorry, I got confused about. It's just an honor meeting some of you guys. It's you guys do a lot of good work. Starfighter Society, a lot of respect for them. Um, I'd love to invite you out to my ship this afternoon if you have the time. Kind of give you guys a little bit of a up close and personal view of what it's like out there in the Armada, and what the collective stands for, and what it's like out there on a working tramp freighter.
How could I possibly refuse such a kind and generous offer? I'd be thrilled to see your tramp freighter.
Well, that's a little, it's a little less luxurious than what you might be used to in terms of passenger liners, but I can assure you that it's home.
Luxury's overrated. Yeah, let's see it. Is this the ship that's going to take us out to the Acreon?
No, this is another
Another player in the plot.
yeah, this is the other party coming to the table and being like, "Hey, let's grease some wheels. Let's lube those
Was he in our
tracks."
room? Like
No,
inside of
in the
our room?
reception area when you came
Oh,
in. Like
okay.
he was sitting there waiting for you guys. So the difference here is that rather than sending an invitation, he actually showed up in person and was like, "Hey guys, um, glad to meet you. Well, let's go out to my ship."
Yeah, we
Um,
should head out there because we got to get back early just in case the media wants
yeah,
us on TV tonight.
it's early afternoon at this point, so so he's gonna go with you, take you out on a shuttle, and take you out to his ship. Um, as you get close, it's a working freighter, very practical, utilitarian. Not a lot of the way in the ways of luxury or comfort, but he obviously takes great pride in his ship, which is also his home and his
Good.
livelihood. Captain
Yeah,
Sarisi is his name. This is
Sarisia.
very evident as he affably escorts you on a tour of the vessel. Eventually, after you go through the different parts of the ship and everything else, he's going to sit you down in the galley and offer you guys some black coffee as you sit down. So, guys, one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is to explain why the fate of the Acreon and especially its crew is so important to our organization, the Hardscrabble Collective. I'm sure you've heard of us. Our members aren't rich. Most of us scratch a living out of whatever rocks we can get in the diaspora. Occasionally, we might get a corporate contract, which can provide something to hold us over. When the rainy days happen and when there's dry spells in between. So the Acreon's contract with Astral Extractions, it's an opportunity few ever have the luxury to refuse. But the collective, we value our independence and freedom, and it's constantly we're finding ourselves struggling against the exploitation and even corporate takeovers occasionally. And it's very clear to us that the crew of the Acreon staked their own claim on the Drift Rock because our view of the contract is that it allowed us to do so. So I would like to think that it's no surprise that our group, the Hardscrabble Collective, is a little suspicious of Astral Extraction's attempts to lay sole claim to the Akron and the Drift Rock. Um, we call ourselves a clan, and we mean it. Once you join your family, members look out for each other, defend each other, care for each other. Now, we don't know what value the Drift might have, but we know the worth of our brothers and sisters on the Acreon. We need to know what happened to that crew. Every family member needs to know the fate of their loved ones, and if the worst has happened, then whatever wealth the Drift holds, that can ease the loss of the families left behind. That's really what we're here to get to the bottom of. We're not disputing Astral Extraction's contract with the Acreon. We're happy to turn all the files and findings from the ship's prospecting mission over to the company, but the ship and the claim that its crew staked in the Drift Rock, those we believe belong to the collective. Well, hopefully, you guys see it the same way, and when you're out there, do your best to find out what happened to the crew. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Hell of a day, huh, guys?
Uh-huh.
Getting ferried all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Cerisi,
Yep.
Captain Cerisi, it is refreshing to hear that your primary concern is the crew of the Acreon. Seems to be just a detail everywhere else I've been.
Well, I appreciate that sentiment.
If you don't mind, we need to get back to our
Oh,
hotel,
absolutely.
get
We can
some
get it.
rest. But your ship is beautiful and
Thank you. Take great
functional,
pride in it.
and I can appreciate that in a freighter.
It is indeed functional. We keep keep things running as best we can here. it's
Yeah,
it's
spick and
a
span.
backhanded compliment. He'll
Spick
take
and
it.
span. No, I
He'll
like it.
take it. He'll
It's
take it. It's
nice.
functional,
Yeah,
baby.
it's
It's,
functional.
it's like the
That's
Millennium Falcon. It doesn't look like much, but she'll make 0.5 past light speed.
yeah. The people in the Hardscrabble Collective, in my mind, they put a lot of value in functional,
They
and not
seem
so much
to,
in
yeah.
like the form. So plus, some of their allies have pretty good rat whiskey. Just saying. A little bit of a weakness for
Like
that
that
rat.
stuff, huh?
Yeah. A little bit of a weakness for the rat whiskey.
Hey man, that stuff might have tainted your brain a little bit. You never know.
Might have. But as a mystic, I feel like my brain needs tainting now and again.
You're starting to feel the corners of your mouth twitching a little bit when you wake up in the morning. Just maybe you feel a little scratchy itch, like something's growing there.
Persistent growth near the edges of my mustache. Yeah.
Hey, it beats antenna.
Yeah, but
Chittering of
both. It's
cockroaches.
gonna be just all kinds of shit off the front of my face, like a beholder or something. Yeah. Well, I won't be the weirdest looking people in Path or
No.
Starfinder because the Aoxians were.
I think
like-
Chin's gonna be the one. If he's got him growing out of his face as well, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
little freaky.
That'd be cool.
Our operative's
That'd be
gonna
cool.
have extra sensory. He'll not only be able to sense things from up here, but also out here.
Yeah, that's actually a hell of an adaptation. So I could see why that would be very useful for an operative.
As you guys get back to your hotel, at this point, you have the option to support one side or the other if you want to in terms of the claim, or you can remain independent and not take sides at all. In the kind of like the long run, um, I would assume here that it's going to be mostly about the groups trying to influence events on you, trying to figure out what's on this ship and its cargo. Now, I don't know what comes beyond this campaign, to be honest with you, because I think there's 4 books in I think it's called the Dead Sons arc, if I'm not mistaken.
Takes you up to like level 15 or something, right? It's one of the first.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
it's
first.
like
I
the
think.
first one that they
Yeah,
put
it's like
out.
1 to 15 or 1 to 13 or something like that. So I'm not quite sure what the
I've-
whole story is and the scope of everything else. And I have no idea if these 2 groups are going to go beyond here. But I think it's an interesting. It's very interesting to me as we're reading through this, like how hard both parties are trying to like manipulate you into like one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like and you go to a party or whatever, and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Bob from accounting or whatever. And by the way, did you know that?" And just give you like their whole life story. So the level of trust that they're showing us just instantly makes me feel manipulated, because I know this is not lawyers and legal briefs. This is Starfinder. So there's got to be a mystery here for us to solve.
All right. You guys make it back to your hotel. You guys get a good night's sleep. I'm gonna step out real quick, make sure that all my cats and chickens and everything aren't like destroying things.
Yeah, for
Since
sure.
I'm on solo duty tonight, and then we'll get back and continue. Hey everyone, Renfail here with the commercial part of the video where I say, hey, if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And thanks to all of our supporters are here on YouTube and over on Patreon, our highest members, our guild champions, Crazy's Relative, Remy D here on YouTube. And don't forget, if you want to support, it's really easy. You can do the memberships below, the Adventurers Guild, 3 different tiers. There's also the super thanks on any uploaded video or YouTube short that you find. There's also, of course, the super chats and stickers that you could do on any live stream or premiere, and the Patreon page if you want to dive into the fantasy world that I have with my brother and my wife, which is a tabletop game, a point-and-click adventure game, and a fantasy book series. All are great ways to keep this channel going and me going full-time. Thanks again for those of you who support. Let's get back to the video that you're watching now. All right. The next morning, as promised, Devilar Skanor has procured a ship for your characters, the shuttle Hippocampus, which is waiting in a private docking bay. You guys are escorted there from your hotel first thing in the morning. It's one of numerous shuttles that regularly ferry passengers and cargo between Absalom Station and visiting ships that are either too big to dock directly with the station or prefer to remain among the ships of the Armada, which is that fleet that continually surrounds the station. It says here it's originally a Ringworks Wanderer model, but the Hippocampus has been heavily modified since then for station security use, and Nor has further modified it specifically for your expedition with upgraded armor, defenses, shields, power core, and sensors, and the addition of a turret-mounted coil gun. With no idea of what you might face, he's even outfitted the shuttle with lifeboats, just in case. There is no pilot because Nor assumed that one of you would be flying the shuttle yourselves, and wanted to continue to maintain neutrality in the matter by not involving any of the station's crew. Although, it says, make no mistake, the Hippocampus belongs to Absalom Station. He's just simply arranged to borrow the shuttle for your use. But worth noting is that the ship is not yours to do with as you please, and the station expects the ship to be returned when you're finished with this. Pirateering the vessel is probably not going to be recommended for the health and longevity of your characters.
No, but bringing it back shot up full of holes and marked by
There's-
reavers and stuff.
There's
like,
insurance.
Hope it's all paid up.
Yeah, I like the
fuzzy
Reaver
dice
reference.
hanging off the rearview mirror.
The Reaver reference is hilarious because I was just literally picturing that in Serenity when they have to go through they scuff up the engine and make it all leak radiation and put all the
Yep.
bodies all over the. That's a good times. We're gonna be skipping some of this stuff because we're not going to be doing the ship combat that they want us to do, because that would take up, like, I feel like that would be a whole 4-hour session, and I don't really want
Right.
to do that. I think it's worth learning at some point down the road if we weren't like doing a live stream session, like if we were meeting up every week, we had the time to do it, but
Sure.
we'll skip past it. You guys get on
What is
board.
the outcome of that? Or it just doesn't happen?
What's that?
What is the outcome of that, or does it just not happen?
No, there's still going to be an encounter, but we're going to skip past their version of things
Gotcha.
as we get going here. My cats have horrible timing because now some of them are like, Daddy, we want to go out. The thrusters only take a couple of minutes to warm up. Absalom Traffic Control gives you clearance for takeoff, and you launch into space.
Who's a pilot?
It's a good question. Do we want to roll for it? Do any of you have piloting skills?
No piloting skills.
There
Maverick
you go.
does? There you go. So Maverick's the pilot.
Captain Maverick.
Captain
Yeah,
Mav!
so-
It takes you a couple of hours to reach the quarantine zone outside of Absalom Station, and Hang on, I'm reading through here. Okay, so the course has been pre-programmed, and so all you have to do is follow the course that's been programmed in Maverick. Takes a couple of hours to reach the quarantine zone around the Aceron and the Drift Rock. Along the way, you get a pretty good view of the exterior of Absalom Station, as well as the Armada, which is that endlessly moving fleet of independent ships that surround the gigantic space platform. Once you reach the last fringes of the Armada, nothing but open space between you and the Acreon. And as you begin your beeline for it, the sensors ping, and a small ship detaches itself from the bulk of the Armada and turns towards your shuttle on an intercept course. Strangely enough, the transponder for the other ship doesn't seem to be working. It's not broadcasting any identification codes, and it does not respond to any hails. And as you're continuing to investigate, an alarm begins to sound in the cockpit of the hippocampus. The mystery ship is armed, and its lasers are trained on your shuttle. Dun dun dun.
Well, I'm going to download the Akashic knowledge I need to become the world's best gunner pilot guy.
There is a map here. Let me share it with you guys.
I know gun fu.
Okay.
Let's see here, and then this would be.
You're going to have to fly this thing for
We're
real,
playing-
Mav.
We're playing BattleTech. Oh my gosh.
Hang on a second, I gotta open up some additional windows here. Like, yeah, the ship combat is super, super complex. Like, I spent several hours and was just kind of like boggling at how complex things were. So hopefully you can see on the map, I've placed your ship and their ship. If that makes sense. I hope can you guys see those
Can
on
we
the map?
get, even though they don't have the transponder, can we get a read on the make and model of that hot rod?
Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm assuming it's faster and that's a more maneuverable kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I think that's probably true.
Ramming speed. No.
But I think that my ability to 1 time per day learn any skill as if I was my highest level of mastery or whatever gives me like a plus 11 to whatever it takes to shoot those guns. So, but Chin, if you have that skill natively or whatever, by all means, I'm not trying to steal your thunder, buddy. I don't know exactly.
That's fine.
What kind of a skill would that
I
be
know.
under?
I
don't
love that
know.
our ship is named the Hippocampus, which is such a good name for a ship.
Yeah, that's actually, I spelled it exactly how he said it too. Hippocampus, like where the hippos go to get their degrees.
Well, I think that's how you spell hippocampus.
I think it
Hippocampus,
probably
right?
is. It is. Well, I don't know. Is it? Is that how you spell it? It's a killer name for a ship, though. And when he said it belongs to the station and it's not really ours, I'm like, come on, this has got to be our new mystery machine.
It's a section of the brain is
Yeah.
your hippocampus.
Sounds
Isn't
almost
that the
like
part that gives you the fight or flight and all that kind of stuff?
No, I think it's memory. Might be both.
Everybody roll. God, I don't know what you would roll. Let me look at your character sheets here real quick to see whether or not you'll be able to decipher anything about this from the. It's probably going to be related to piloting.
piloting
I would think
perception.
Yeah, I would think it's.
Computers?
It might be computers. Let everybody roll a computer check real quick.
Is this to do what?
Well, somebody had asked, I forget who had asked about, did you know what type of shuttle this was? Or what kind of a
It looks
vessel
like a
was it?
Corvette.
Lysander
this.
and Chin, you can both you know enough about ship computers and stuff to know that it appears to be some sort of an interceptor, and it has the dimensions and everything else. It looks like it's an Aoxian ship.
Interesting.
It could be an escort.
Could be.
Other than the fact it's
Escort
targeting
that,
you.
Yeah. It's got a hell of a way of showing how much it wants to escort us. That's for sure. I'm gonna man the gun.
Shields up. The stack shields.
We're gonna make shit up with this. I don't know exactly how this is gonna work because I wanted to try to see if I could fold this into the existing combat encounter thing they have. But if it doesn't work, we're just gonna make it up. We're gonna basically assume that I think they've given each ship roughly the same amount of hull durability, I think, or it's like hit points, right? So we're just
Hit
gonna
points, right?
yeah, we're gonna kind of go for this and just kind of fake it as we go and see what it's like here. I'm gonna open up some stuff here because I need to see how this works.
Yeah, as a guy who started playing D&D back in 1981,
Yeah,
the way I look at it is you just make it fun and
yeah, we're just
do
gonna
the thing that you
use
want to do.
we're just gonna use a very basic DC system here. I'm just gonna go back to old school, like we're gonna roll a D20. We're gonna say their ship has like a 15 armor class and your ship has, a 15 armor class, and we're just gonna shoot it out and see what the dice say.
Yeah.
Try to keep it
And dodging
loose.
and all that kind of stuff is just represented by the piloting in the ship as opposed to a person,
Dice rolls
dodging
and
a
everything
melee.
else. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
probably do some.
yeah, it's almost exactly the same if you want to keep it real simple, So
Do you need to go out, Smeagol, before we get going, buddy? No, you're good.
there's
All right.
communications and other, type of things.
All right. So they're getting ready to fire at you. Where can I roll? I don't think it really matters here. I'm gonna roll everybody. Maverick, you roll a d20. I'll roll a d20. This will represent our initiatives. I got an 8. You also okay? No, that was your computer roll. You got a 5, so I get first shot. Hang on, I
I'm
got a
still
kitty.
downloading.
I'm still trying to download, man. Wait. All right.
Respecting good rolls. My God, I can't get anything above an 8 tonight.
All right. So they're gonna fire on you. We're just gonna do some very basic. I don't know how to apply damage here, but let's just go and say that's a miss. So they fire a burst of turbo lasers at you, and you manage to deftly outmaneuver them, swoop down underneath, and you can return fire. So
Do we
if
have
you go ahead.
any way to jam electronics jamming? I'm assuming it's part of the fire and control system for the weapon. So
If
countermeasures
if we were
like
doing
in
it according to
F-14.
if we were doing it according to the full combat
Yeah.
thing, I would say yeah, but I'm just gonna ignore that for now, and we're just gonna say, I mean, we could roll for it and say that roll a 6-sided die is
Well,
what I'll say.
it's almost like what's that one move that everybody does so much? It's sense motive, right? Isn't it? Isn't that what you were doing, Chin?
No, that's a trick attack.
The trick attack thing. So maybe we could treat countermeasures exactly like a trick attack, and have Chin execute countermeasures to give us some type of advantage. Is my only thought. Like it's a spell.
I would
Like
say just roll a d6, and if you roll a 1 or a 2, we might give you
fair
a
enough.
limited window of opportunity.
Fair enough. You're the spy. Do you want to give us a D6? Thanks, man.
Oh, he rolled a 6. That is not a
It's not a
not a
good
good
thing.
roll. You are
Slightly.
punching buttons on the computer trying to figure out, look, which one is the one that jams the other thing, and the whole system locks up. And so yeah, it's like there's like crackling, fizzing going on, and
All right,
the computer
fine.
screen is like loading. Please wait. Flash, 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 flash.
What are you doing to my ship?
I will give you guys
Stop pushing buttons.
but Lysander, I'll give you a chance to fire back at them. So go ahead and roll your attack to see if you guys do
Thanks,
any
man.
damage back.
I'm gonna do a full attack.
Okay, so that's
I'm gonna
well.
spend the whole time shooting.
How does the full attack work? The second one is a minus what now? Is it -4?
I rolled 2, the +3 and the -1.
I think they're both.
Oh, they're both negative on full attack. That's right. So just roll two
Mine says
20s.
+3 and -1, but
Well, it's not plus. The full attack you get minus.
It should. Let's see.
Yeah, but we're
Where's
doing
it?
it different than.
Well, I mean, even if you
I was gonna say it's a -4 to both rolls.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So that 13 is a hit. Or excuse me, that's a
Right.
miss. That's a miss. Sorry, it needs 15 or
Oh.
better. So that's a miss. What's your next roll? Also a miss. All right, they're gonna fire at you.
Evasive maneuvers.
They also miss.
I think they're still downloading too.
They might be. Go ahead and roll your attack again.
I'm just gonna do one attack.
Okay, that is a hit. Let's go ahead and roll for damage. Let's roll a 1d12 for damage.
1d12.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's say, what is your hang on, let me open a character sheet here. Character, Lysander, skills, computers. You have a +3 to computers.
Well, that I'm assuming that one of these skills would have been the skill that I boosted to +11, because of that once per day being able to download the Akashic records of how to run the ship's fire and control system.
That makes sense. So if that's
Yeah,
the
so it
case,
might be computers if that's what you rule, but
well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that to the damage roll. So I'm going to say it's +11 on the damage. So
okay.
that'll be 16. I need to where can I apply this? 16.
I believe
like
that's how
so.
that works, right?
Well, I mean, who cares at this point? I'm just going to roll
Yeah.
with it because it makes sense. All right, they're going
I
to
know it's
roll.
once per day anyway.
They missed again. So yeah, you guys are in luck. So go ahead and roll for your shots again. Also, at the same time, Maverick roll a 6 and Chen roll a 6, please, while he's rolling for damage. Okay, Maverick rolled a 1. That's good.
Oh, my
Oh
roll.
no.
Critical. All right. Yeah. So hang on a second here.
Guns lock up.
Yeah, Maverick. Where's the sound effects coming from? That is amazing, by the way. That was awesome. So Maverick managed to deftly outmaneuver a blaster bolt from the ship, sending it down into a barrel roll around the incoming blaster fire. And at the same time, as this happens, Lysander's trying to push the buttons, but the barrel roll, his finger misses, and he mashes like 4 buttons at the same time. And the targeting computer loses its target lock, so no, you're gonna lose your turn next time.
Gotcha.
So they're gonna get 2 attacks here.
Fair enough.
Man, they are rolling completely
They almost have
miserably.
the same issue, yeah.
Oh, yep, they missed
2
both
and
their
3.
attacks. So go ahead again, roll for your attack against them.
The level of competency. Full turn.
All right,
Full
turn.
attack. The level of competency in this fight on both sides is. Oh, come on.
Oh, it's almost.
It
It
could
was
have given me
almost.
that. It could have given me that. Come on. It isn't right.
Well, I'm also going to apply your bonuses here because I didn't do that the first time around. But so those are both hits. So go ahead and roll your damage on both of those
Okay.
because
I
you have
will
that
not
+11.
argue with the game master.
Roll d12 for your damage.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
It's all good. We're making this up as we go along.
I'm making this up as we go, right?
It's a 9 plus 11. That's 20.
Oh.
Okay, no, that's good. So,
No, it's good.
both of your shots hit, and you see a glorious explosion of lights and sparks and flames erupting from the other vessel as it veers off course and dun, 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 dun.
That's what happens when you F around and catch a bad one, boys.
And its pilot appears to be crash landing it in the direction of the drift rock as you guys continue your way to the Aceron vessel.
Oh shit, we'll meet again.
Gotta shoot it down. Shoot harder.
Now we actually get to apply
Is that an option for us? Can we give pursuit to this thing, or are we still stuck on our general course? Or
hang on a second here.
I don't know. I think we should let fate decide whether it lives or dies. That way, if it does live, we could question it later when we're on the Drift Rock.
Yeah, it's probably best to go to the ship first and you can explore the asteroid later on. Um,
I'm
the
prepared to be overruled, though. You're the
I'm
captain.
literally there is a section here. I'll read this to break the fourth wall here. It says, be aware that the encounters on the Driftwalk may be more difficult at this time as the adventure assumes that the PCs that are going to visit the Acreon first. So it's actually prompting me to
Something's happening. Yeah.
tell you not to go to the asteroid first, if at all possible. I'm supposed to be able to. I need to give you guys this XP reward. So let me pull up the. I remember where to apply that. No, it's not the ship party sheet. XP, here it is. Yeah. So we need this 3 times.
Hippocampus.
Actually, no,
That's
it's
how
only
spelled.
it's only once. Hang on.
Looks so strange. Seahorse. It's a beautiful word.
Okay. You guys have got the XP for that. Okay.
What's this? The hippocampus? Is that cybernetics attached to that?
Okay. The Acreon is an old prospecting and mining ship that has seen years of hard use in the asteroid fields and hard vacuum of the Pact Worlds and beyond. It's very boxy and ungainly, and as you get closer, you can see through the windows of your ship. It's got a patched and repatched outer hull that bears the scars of countless micrometeorite impacts and is faded from exposure to the radiation of space. It's floating alone, far from Absalom Station, and its only companion is the misshapen asteroid which is tethered behind the ship on long tow cables. The transponder for the Acheron is broadcasting a repeating message that the ship is under quarantine by order of Absalom Security Station, warning away curious onlookers and would-be explorers. Go ahead and run a computers check, everybody. Oh yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah,
That
we're good.
looked good.
You identify this as a medium transport that can carry a full crew complement of 6. The sensors are unable to get any life sign readings that might be present on the ships, however. The aft airlock is open, exposing the interior of the ship to vacuum. It is armed, although none of its weapons appear to be currently active, and its power core is outputting minimal energy, enough for life support, gravity, and basic ship functions, but very little else. You can dock with the Acheron directly or park the shuttle nearby in matching orbit and spacewalk to the quarantine ship. You can go through any of the 3 airlocks that are available on the vessel.
I think we should dock.
The
I
aft.
was gonna say, I think we would be fine docking.
Okay, so you want to go to the aft airlock? That's the one that's open right now.
Yeah, the spacewalk sounds like a lot of effort.
Okay, let me close that down.
So
Open this.
sounds like a good way to lose your ship to random encounters.
Not my ship.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right,
Sold it to some guy.
hang on 2 seconds here. Okay, so that's that. I'm making sure that I understand aft is the back part of the ship. I don't know enough about. They don't have the pins marked perfectly here, so I want to make sure that I'm doing this properly. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are docking the aft. Did you guys? It should have dropped a map. You guys probably can't see anything yet on the map, though. All right. Let's get this up. I need to delete from tracker. we need to go
I
ahead.
can't see.
Yeah, hang on. It'll hang on. My mouse is being crazy. Rest, overnight rest. That clears everybody, and then we can drop you on the map here. Now, I don't know. Do you guys have any visibility at all? I may need to unlock some stuff on the map here.
All I see is utter blackness.
Okay, 1 second here. Oh my God, that's a lot of dice.
Chen, what are you doing?
I'm not exactly sure how I did that, but that was
That was a dice explosion.
it's kind of cool.
Are you just clicking on the dice there?
Can you see stuff around you now, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
See that the three of us are in a room in front of a door that's closed.
Okay,
Two
perfect.
doors that are
Perfect.
I don't see anybody else. I just see some kind of a door.
Well, you're a human, poor guy. As long as you don't see the other two characters.
No, I don't.
Wonder why that is. Well, we'll sort it out in a bit. Well, hopefully it'll sort out once I open up the doors. Here, let me drag you out and let's see what this happened. I can't drag you out.
No, I see some.
Okay, so that's we're good. I just need to close the door now. Okay, that's what I was double checking. Make sure that was gonna work. Okie dokie.
Apparently, I'm blind.
We're gonna have to invest in some like
Okay.
cool night vision VR goggles for you or something.
So, you would think they would be built into my suit, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So,
It's a fancier version of the suit.
the ship is exposed to vacuum, so you're going to need to be in your suits. Hang on, I just realized I lost visual here on the. There we go. We're back to normal. You're going to need to be in your suits when you get inside. It's in full vacuum, although the gravity is in effect as you get in. As you get into the airlock, it's lit with emergency lighting, which provides dim light. Ceilings are around 8 feet high, from what you're able to see here. The doors in front of you are locked, but in the open position. If that makes sense. It says, hang on, I misread that. The doors in front of you are locked, which is the airlock. The outer doors were open as you got in.
Sure, there's probably a computer system or pad or something in here to.
Oh, there's actually you can see there's a panel here, and this one's green lit, so these doors are able to be open. They're not locked. They're just closed at the moment. So that's what you see when you get in here. So from here, you can just open up the door and go in if you want. Ouch. What are you doing, Lucas?
Sounds good.
Let's go ahead. I'm going to do something here real quick.
I don't know which way is which, so.
Okay, that should have opened it up, and you guys get a view of what's in front of you. I got to open up this next section here, so give me a second. Flickering emergency lights do little to dispel the darkness inside the derelict ship. The sense of abandonment is only heightened by the apparent lack of movement or life inside the airless corridors. Artificial gravity is still functional, so there's likely still power to run essential systems and possibly restore life support and atmosphere to the ship. Unfortunately, no obvious clues as to the fate of the vanished crews.
It's a pretty big ship. It's not
Yes, it
highly likely there'd
is.
be somebody right by the door.
And you're going to need to get to the bridge, if you want to do that. So hang on, you're in front of this area, so let me find this here. As you peek out the door, it appears to be there's a long chamber stretching out across the width of the ship. Looks to be the engineering area. You can also catch a glimpse of a tech workshop expansion bay.
That sounds cool.
Hang on.
Is that where we upgrade our weapons?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Just reading the description here. Where are these out?
Looks like there's 2 other doors here too.
I'm reading something really quick here. Okay. Anyway, that's what you see when you open up the doors.
Oh, by the way, it cost me 1 resolve point to do that thing earlier with the access the Akashic records. I don't know how to mark that off on my sheet. Where's the
Okay.
resolve?
Wouldn't you have got moved? Did he apply a full rest or did you get that back?
Well, the rest was because we hadn't done a rest at the hotel, so I just needed to clear that
Okay.
off of the.
I don't know if resolve would count for rest. Anyway, I think it has to be earned back, right?
Yes,
It's like luck points.
I
So,
think so.
yeah.
As you open up, you also see a couple of cocoon-looking things in the room made out of a pale green-looking crystal-type material.
Ruh-roh.
Trying to.
We should move in. So I get
Yeah, it says there's resinous shards littering the floor here. Roll a DC life science check, please.
well, continue with my great rolls.
You're not sure what the shards are, but there's like some shards across the floor and some funky looking cocoon things.
Any of the cocoon things appear to be less than intact.
From where you're standing is not you. It's the lighting's too dim to be able to get a glimpse of things. Maverick, are you moving into the room?
Yes.
Okay.
Take weapons at the ready, boys.
Okay. Yeah. As you move into the room, I'm gonna read this really quick here. There is a crunching slash like the sound of crystal and glass and sand breaking and grinding, and these creatures, 2 creatures burst out of those cocoons as you enter the room, Maverick.
Neat.
And they
That's where those
look
shards came from.
right, and they look like I'm gonna share an image with you guys. These things are creepy as fuck. That's what burst out of those cocoons.
Oh, it's almost like a
That's pretty
displacer
cool.
beast. It's got like vaguely cat-like form plus tentacles.
That's nasty, is all I know, man. That's horrible. Yeah, roll initiative, everybody.
The stuff adventures are made of, man.
That's also the stuff that the
Kills
corpses of
people.
adventurers are made of.
That's all. That's the food for the thing. But yeah, failed.
We're the food for the thing. Come on, can you roll? Oh, Jesus.
He bursts through the doors and stumbles across one of the shards, and yeah. All right, Lysander, you're first.
I don't know how to mark it on the sheet, so just to call it up front. Spell selection, same as before. 3 mind thrusts, and a reflecting armor. But for now, I'm gonna take a shot with the pistol.
Make sure you got it targeted.
Shift click.
Control click, but it says you've got you had it targeted. Now it's
I had it
untargeted.
targeted.
Yep.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
That is a miss.
Pew pew.
Okay, I need to double check again really quickly. Oh my. Okay. Um, this thing is going to jump for Maverick.
Lovely. New armor, do your thing.
Did that have you? I didn't have you targeted. Hold up. I rolled the wrong one. That's why. Hold up a second here. That's the wrong one.
Look like he has anybody targeted either.
Yeah, it's number 2 is the one that's near you. It's number 1 that is down there, so I got to move him across the room here. So I'm gonna roll a 6. 1, 2, 3. It's on Lysander. 4, 5, 6. It's on Chin. This is on Lysander. You said you had your armor spell up?
No, I had not done it yet.
Okay. Well, this thing's bum rushing across the room.
So let's hope it misses.
It's gonna lunge across the room and take a chomp out of you. So it does
Ooh.
that, and then it also does this. I gotta read up on how this works here real quick.
What does that skill do?
All right, it bites you on your arm, and it hurts a hell, like a hell of a lot. It hurts a hell of a lot. And you can immediately feel like a numbness starting to spread across your arm from where it bit you.
Even though the damage was absorbed by my fatigue, by my armor, essentially.
According to this, yeah, this is a subcomponent.
Not good.
Not good. Not good. All right, this one is gonna attack Maverick. That's a hit. Okay. Let's see. Absorb, same thing. Your bite. I mean, it's like a burning numbness sensation. It's kind of strange. All right, Chen, you're up. It's a hit. Lies. Ooh.
All right, Jen.
Kaboom! All right, nicely done. So you whopped the hell out of that thing with your baton, coming up out of nowhere and just whoop across the side of this thing's head. Its tentacles writhe around it, and it lets out an otherworldly shriek. All right, Maverick.
This is where my low rolls come back to bite me in the ass. Standard attack. Oh, there we go.
That's a hit. Okay. Lysander, you're up.
All right, same one that I still have targeted. Going to get a mind thrust.
Is that an auto hit?
I don't remember. Is Mind Thrust an auto hit?
Yeah, looks like it. Target can attempt a will saving throw to have the damage. dealt by the spell. The spell has no effect on creatures without an intelligence score. I'm gambling that they have an intelligence score.
Yeah, they do.
And it's
Oh, actually, well, does it say what the intelligence needs to be?
it doesn't. It just says without an intelligence score.
So if they don't have an intelligence score, they don't get a will save?
No. Well, if they don't have an intelligence score, it does nothing to them. So there's no need to save for half damage or anything else.
So this is the reason I'm asking. They have an intelligence of 2. So I'm genuinely curious, what do they consider no intelligence? Like 0? It can a creature have a 0
Well,
intelligence?
so like something that could be attacking you, or you can't attack a turret with a mind thrust.
Oh, that makes
You know what
sense.
I
So
mean?
because a
You know what
turret
I'm
would
saying?
literally have 0. So in this
Exactly.
case, yeah, it's gonna have 2. So it definitely okay. So but it needs to make a will save. Do we remember what
Because
we?
all I'm really doing is I'm overflowing it with like a glut of psychic information, psychic chaos,
Yeah.
basically. It's a mind attack. So it doesn't really have to be smart. I'm not trying to explain anything to it. It's just
Do you remember? That's a save. So it takes half the damage. What was your damage on the mind thrust?
it's 2d10, and there was a way to roll it. I thought on the page.
There is, yeah.
It's what? Excuse me, I didn't mean to detect thoughts. Mind thrust. There it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna half that. So we'll just take 6 away. Okay. All right. Same thing. Bite. That's a miss. Bite. That's a miss. Chin. That's a miss. Okay, Maverick, you're up.
Okay. I guess I'll just do a standard attack. And my dice went away. Awesome.
That's a miss. Lysander.
Do I have the one below me targeted now? The one that took a bite out of my arm?
You do. You also have the other one attacked. You also have the other one targeted.
How
There
do
you
I
go.
know?
There you go. Oh, you're good. Yep, there you go.
All right. I'm going to use the pistol. One shot.
Pew. That's a hit.
All right.
At least one of us is hitting.
Oh yeah, that's a dead beastie.
Whatever.
Tentacles
Pew, pew,
writhing
pew.
around as a blaster bolt burns its way through its skull and it goes down with a horrific gurgling scream.
Dump its face.
All right. Okay. This second one's going to give a horrific scream that resonates throughout your minds as its partner goes down. And it's going to snap out and bite Maverick for another 5 points. Chen, you're up. What's that?
Got the target.
Gotcha. That's a miss. No. Maverick.
Yeah. Go for the full attack. Boop.
Come on, big hit.
First one's a hit. Did it factor in your negatives?
He only gave me a +2. instead of a +6.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect. Okay,
Well, there's a good roll.
that's a good roll for sure.
And then we're back to normal.
Yep, there we go. Lysander.
Right. I'll make sure I have the correct beastie targeted now.
That is a hit.
If there's any pips on this thing, you guys, I'm sorry. I just can't see it. My eyes apparently just aren't good enough. Yeah.
It's all
2
good.
damage.
2 damage. Another chomp. That is a miss. Chen, you're up. That is a miss.
These are some epic rolls we're having tonight.
Just stop dancing with it and kill it.
That's the problem with trying to fight in exosuits, you know.
These are skin-tight exosuits.
That is true. They do
know.
have pretty good.
They're like band shirts almost, you know. They're just like cozy.
Does this show off my figure?
Makes to make my butt look fat. No, sir, that's just the blaster pack.
Dangerously cute and highly explosive. It's Captain Maverick.
Pew pew pew.
Okay. Let's. I'm gonna do a standard attack, I guess. Considering my freaking rolls.
That is a hit.
Hey,
Nice.
good thing I did it that way. And there's a 1.
Ooh, and it
Right.
resisted.
Ugh,
Lysander.
crikey.
It's a hit.
Hit. Ugh.
So it resisted Maverick's damage, the fire damage.
But it didn't resist the tactical pistol. Probably bludgeoning or what do you call it? Ballistic damage is different than the fire damage.
Here's another chomp, and it misses. Chins up. Chin up, chin.
Yeah, it hasn't hit in 4
There you go.
turns. I would think it would go hide under a desk or something in disgrace, but what do I know?
Oh, it's dead. You reach out with your baton and whomp, and I could tell you that what happens because this just happened to one of my roosters the other night. You whap it upside the side of the head, and it slumps over and just kind of starts to twitch for a few moments, and then finally stops twitching and doesn't make a sound as it dies. I totally had an accident the other night where one of the roosters was beaten up on the rescue hen. So Chris and I have a broom that's out there, and so we will use the broom to like thwap the rooster from time to time when he's being naughty. And I went to thwap him, and he ducked at the last minute. And instead of thwapping him with the body, you know, with the broom part hitting his body, he ran headlong into the shaft of the broom. I thought I'd killed the guy because he literally went bonk and he fell over and started doing the whole. And I was like, oh no, I just killed the rooster. And I was like, well, I guess we're having soup tomorrow.
You're
And
the funky chicken.
and like 20 seconds later, it was just completely still, and I was like, "Oh man, I just killed the rooster. Chris is gonna be upset with me." And about 90 seconds later, I was just like standing there watching him, going, "What am I gonna do?" And he came out of it, and I was like, "Whew, dodged that bullet." But he almost became tacos a little earlier than anticipated. But that's just what happened to this guy. You clunked him upside the side of the head with your baton, and he went down in a shivering pile of nothingness. This is definitely the engineering bay. Those cocoons are what they came out of.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a perception check, everybody. Okay, yeah. As you guys are taking a look around, you find a tactical arc emitter underneath one of the engineering consoles.
Tactical arc emitter?
Yeah, along with a battery with 12 charges and some more of this green shard things, which I'll give you guys for the perception rolls as well as this. It's called Nokal. Um, it apparently, I'm going to read up on this again real quick. It says here Nokal is a star metal, one of several precious metals mined from asteroids and scattered worlds across the universe. Looks like a pale green pistol, but can be worked as easily as iron or steel. Its crystalline structure gives it a strength that belies its surprisingly low weight. More importantly, it is resistant to magic. Objects made of Nokal gain a +4 bonus to saving throws against magical effect. And melee weapons or ammunition fashioned from Nokal gain a +1 enchantment. One bulk of Nokal ore is worth 500 credits. And it says here that as part of the treasure that was in this room, that's what I'm reading. I gotta scan. I lost the page. There's a
We know what
couple of
happened to the crew.
right. So, um, do any of you guys let me go back here real quick. You guys who
If that whole rock is made of this stuff, can you imagine?
right? And you guys recognize what those creatures were?
They
I
are
need.
known.
They are known, I believe, to you, because you guys had made. Let me double check this here.
And they broke out of
Those,
basically eggs made of no cow.
yes.
Yes, of course. Because if we know what it is and we know how much it's worth, we would know that it's also got a bio component to it anyway, in some cases.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up again because you guys made your check. So this is what you guys know about Akata. Now that you've had a chance to take a breather. These are terrifying predators that dwell in the vast voids of space. They make their homes on asteroids, comets, and dying planets, hibernating in cocoons for countless centuries. When a meteorite carrying a colony crashes onto a planet or another astronomical object that can support life, they awake from their cocoons to seek out suitable hosts for their young.
Mm-hmm.
They produce by implanting parasitic larval offspring in humanoid hosts.
And we were both hit.
You were both bitten. Two of you were bitten.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to get those
Medicine.
checked out at some point.
I'm gonna roll medicine skill and see if I can't.
Oh, he rolls
See if
a
I can't figure out how
20.
to take care of this and mitigate any problems for Mav and I.
Oh,
Wow, that's a really good discussion about. Let me read this real quick.
I'm sorry if you haven't read ahead enough to know. I'm just saying I'm throwing it out there that it's something that I would do.
No,
know.
I mean that's totally cool. So I need to read up on what that. They have a thing called. It was a
Can
subcomponent
I
of their.
take 3 real quick?
Can you
Can
what
I
now?
get up for a second?
Oh
For like
yeah.
3 minutes?
No, you're good. You're good.
I'll
I
be
gotta
right
read
back.
this anyway. Because that ability they have, it just says. Only humanoids make suitable hosts for Akata young. It doesn't say how long that lasts for. Oh, okay. The cure is 2 consecutive saves. So I actually forgot to have you guys roll fortitude saves during the combat. I didn't realize there was a save component to that. So we'll just do that when he gets back. We'll roll the saves and we could probably use the take 20 skill. He rolled a 20 on medicine, so that makes sense to just give an automatic. Oh yeah, you take the time to take 20 and cleanse the wounds and get all the bacteria, maybe cauterize them with a little bit of something. You're in the engineering bay. You can find something to torch them with. It's probably a good stopping point as well.
yeah.
Once he gets back. I know Lance is like, yes, please. I'll have another beer. I can't hear you, man. I saw
He's
the lips
already half
move.
asleep.
It's all good. I saw the lips move, but I didn't hear anything. It'll be I actually don't have anything in the house to drink tonight. Finished off our last big jug. It's like a moonshine jug that you can totally just buy at the grocery store. They actually have some nasty it's like a cane, like a sugar cane liquor, but it's really bad quality. It's like $1.50 for this like bottle, and that's what all the local drunks drink. It does not taste very good. You would think it would because it's made from sugar cane. Made from cane, so you would think it would be sweet. It is rank. And it comes in a little plastic jug, and it has like the flower cactus symbol on the front. It is nasty stuff, man. It's like gasoline, but it's $1.50, so it's what they all drink. I like tequila though. Tequila's good stuff. I do like my whiskeys more than anything else.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. We were saying this is a good place to wrap up, but there's a few things we can cover while you
Okay.
did. So
I just had
you're
to take care of the dogs real quick. They
it's
were
all good, man. So you rolled a 20, so I'm just gonna give this to you. One thing I missed during combat is apparently you guys were supposed to have a fortitude save to whether or not you're gonna get infected or not. So we're just gonna say since you rolled a 20 immediately after combat, you're like, oh shit, disinfect the wound, maybe cauterize it with something from the engineering bay, and we'll consider it healed because the actual cure for it is if you make 2 successful fortitude saves, you're good to go. If you
Yeah.
don't, here's what happens, by the way, because I would assume you guys would understand this because you would know about the creatures. An infected creature that dies while under the influence of the bite is resurrected as a void zombie 2d4 hours later.
nice. A hell of a way to become an
Oh
NPC.
man, these are nasty
Yeah.
creatures, man. So
Yeah. It's got a little aliens vibe to it, right?
so you've made it to the ship. It's still a hard vacuum, but there is gravity, dim lights, and now you are getting a glimpse of what may have happened to this shuttle because, knowing what you know about these creatures, they landed on this asteroid, and were dormant more than likely until our miners arrived,
Mhm.
and that I'm literally getting aliens vibes right now,
Yeah,
full on
yeah,
like,
yeah. No, it's awesome.
they
I'm digging it.
burrowed down in and woke up the xenophobes,
Hell
and
yeah.
now they are here to infect the human hosts.
But
And
on the flip side, you got the worth of the item. Like, can you imagine shielding made with this stuff that could block magic spells? And
yeah, there's some
this
interesting
got some
potentials.
interesting potential. So I'm excited to see where it
Did you guys
goes.
watch The Expanse by any chance? When it first aired, there was during season 1 they did a very good job because one of the things the detective has to do is he's tracking everything down, and the infection that hits the ship, the way they showed that through the vids and the people as they get infected and everything else, I'm like full on I'm getting vibes from that here,
Cool.
like the way they're describing things. It was really full on creepy with just the asteroid itself infecting the people,
Yeah.
um, with this meta
Space is
material.
heft up.
It is, dude. Like I would
It's
not want to
heft
be.
up.
I would not want to be one of the guys. Ryan Reynolds doesn't do too many non-comedies, but he did this space horror movie a few years ago with Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, was in it, and they're astronauts out on like the International Space Station, and there's these like literally like these things. They're like these squid creatures that come into the ship, come into the space station, and come after him, and you can't go anywhere, man. It's the vastness of space, and you're stuck in a little tube, a tin can, and they're coming for you. So that's a great place to stop, because now you know that
No,
this
it's
sh-
terrific. My
this
my
sh-
mind is swimming with possibilities. How much of this rock is made of this stuff?
well,
You know?
thankfully your bloodstream's not also swimming with
Yeah. Well,
possibilities.
I take that as part of the risk of being an adventurer. Uh, I don't want to be too meta, but I'm self-aware enough to know that that's my gig. I'm an adventurer until I'm not. So,
Until you
um,
get bitten by a space creature that
it-
converts you into a
right.
void zombie. So, for those of you who are who are watching, thanks for following along. Just tune in next time. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all those good things. Memberships, super chats, all the great ways to support. Join the Discord. We'll see everybody next time. Stay safe and don't get bit.